Welcome on this fine Bike to Work day. Thank you all for riding this morning. My name is Catherine Gervis. I'm the Executive Director of Yay Bikes. I want to thank Scott Ulrich for inviting me to speak once again this year and for all the good work he does as the coordinator of all things bikes here in the city of Columbus. I have the pleasure to introduce our new Columbus Health Commissioner, Dr. Roberts. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. I know you're all riled up after riding here, and I really appreciate you weathering the weather this morning. So thanks again for joining us this morning on this fabulous Friday morning and Bike to Work Day. Thanks to all of our partners and sponsors, and really to all of you for joining us. Biking to work is simple, yet it's a very effective way to integrate physical activity into your busy daily routines. The City of Columbus promotes active commuting, which means encouraging more employees to bike or walk to work, to bike or walk to lunch, as well as traveling to meetings that they have throughout the community. We are fortunate to live in a biking community with access to over 120 miles of off-street trails and more than 65 miles of on-street bikeways. Bicycling has become a healthy way of life for many residents, and we see them every day coming and going to work. Actually, at Columbus Public Health, sometimes our bike rack is double booked. It has so many bikes that people are doubling up on how they rack their bikes there, so that's always a good sign. Other businesses other than the City of Columbus are following suit by supporting their employees who bike to work. I am proud to recognize the newest bike-friendly businesses in Columbus who were recently acknowledged by the League of American Bicyclists. The Ohio Department of Health received a silver award. Congratulations. The Ohio Department of Education has bronze, and the Ohio Department of Higher Education also has bronze. They know what we all know. Biking is good for your health, and it's good for business too. So consider this. Regular physical activity increases your work performance up to 52%. People who cycle take 32% fewer sick days. And 30 minutes of daily bicycling saves $544 per person in annual medical expenses. Because of the many benefits, we are working to create more bike-friendly businesses and partnerships right here in Columbus. And today is a great day to start. Bicycling is part of transportation and health, and the revolution in our city so we can be active and safe while reducing our carbon footprint. You are part of this revolution today, and hopefully in the days to come. As your health commissioner, I encourage you to make cycling part of your daily routine to protect your health and improve your lives. And whenever you get an opportunity, grab someone else to join you. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker this morning, Eric Brandon, the Assistant Director of the Columbus Rec and Parks. Eric?
Thank you, Dr. Roberts, and good morning, everybody, on this beautiful, beautiful summer, sunny morning. It's great. The only thing worse than riding in the rain is having to listen to me, so I'm going to be brief. Thank you for Dr. Roberts. He gave some great stats on health and riding, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about what Recreation and Parks is doing in the community. So, and we also want to thank our administration. So we've had some great administration that understands that walkable and bikeable communities are important for our city. So last year we stood right here and told you about an expansion to our COGO system, 26 stations and 232 bikes. We announced it last year. It's still happening. You know, government, we're a little slow. But we're getting it done. So we're going to be expanding. The network will expand from Kingsdale Shopping Center to Capital University, from Franklin Park to Grandview Yard, and from the south side to Olentangy Village. We want to get to 1,000 rides this year. So our trail system is growing too. We're under construction on Georgesville Road on the west side, under construction on the Blacklick Trail near Hines Road, and soon to be under construction with new projects from Alum Creek Trail for the Shepherd neighborhood, right there at 5th and Nelson. So one of our everyday most asked for improvements one of everybody's most asked for improvements is the hairpin turn on Olentangy Trail. So I've heard people talking about that this morning. No more slamming on your brakes or dodging other cyclists. It's the busiest trail in Ohio, and it deserves to be safe. So we're going to be working on that. Also this summer, the first leg of the Franklinton Loop along Souder Avenue from Broad Street to Dublin, Ohio. That crazy Souder Avenue bridge, it shakes, it's narrow, and we're going to make it safer. So look out for that. It's coming soon. Check out our website. Be sure to see our top 8. Those are our top 8 projects for this year, and we have a lot to talk about. So 2018 is going to be a banner year for recreation and parks and our trailway construction. So continue to ride, and thank you all for coming out today.
Thank you, Eric, and for all of the fine work that's happening out of Recreation and Parks with our fine greenway system and trail system. And now I have the pleasure to introduce the Infrastructure Management Division Administrator, Frank Williams, who is doing some great work in public service and is going to tell us what's going on with bikes on roads.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Just first to thank Mayor Ginther, who has supported the Department of Public Service in being committed to being a community friendly to biking, and we are working very hard within the department to further those efforts. And from the public service perspective, this means that we design, build, and construct, but also maintain with the biking community in mind. Just one thing just to note, just last week, your Snow Warriors and myself were in Indianapolis meeting with other cities to find out how better to deal with the biking and support the biking community even during the wintertime. So we're really working to move the ball forward in that regard. But again, since 2003, the Department of Public Service has implemented over 150 miles of bikeways throughout the city. Recently in 2017, we installed over 7 miles of bikeways. Some of you are familiar with West Broad Street, Joyce Avenue, Indianola, projects such as that. But in 2018, we're even adding to that. We have 10 miles, 10 miles of planned bikeways to be installed this year. Arcadia Avenue, Parsons Avenue, Mound Street, shared use path is coming. But one thing that I'm pretty excited about is phase 1 of a low stress bike network within the Clintonville area. It's going to be a pilot that kicks off this year as well that we're working on. Now this also expands beyond the Department of Public Service, where we're always working with partners such as Rec and Parks, partners such as Franklin County. We're working on a Trabue Road project. See, they're so excited to shoot about it. The biggest thing I want to kind of make mention of or just note is the fact that it takes a community, it takes a lot of partnerships, whether it's with the Department of Health, Rec and Parks, Franklin County, but you all support us. We really appreciate your feedback, Catherine, and those of you that really reach out to us and let us know when we're headed in the right direction or even pulling us when we're not. You help us to make the best decisions possible so that we can support your endeavor and support your plight. So thank you again, and we appreciate you. Nick is here from Infrastructure Management. Maria's over there, and I got my first pin this year, so I'm really excited. But again, we do appreciate all of your support and all of your feedback and all of your help as we continue to move this ball forward. Thank you. Catherine.
I am so excited about the work coming out of public service under Director Gallagher's leadership, not just new infrastructure, but paying much closer attention to the maintenance of and the operations, snow removal. We have seen a huge turnaround. If you see a dirty bike lane, make a 311 request. They're getting out there quickly. So thank you, folks in public service, for all the good work you're doing. I am so excited to bring Councilmember Priscilla Tyson to the stage. Her leadership in health and human services and all over within City Council has been really helpful to us in the bike community. So, Councilmember Tyson.
Thank you. Good morning. And I know you're ready all to either to go to work or to continue to ride your bike, so I certainly won't be long. Of course, welcome to Columbus to City Hall. I thank the Department of Public Health and its leader, Dr. Mashika Roberts. I also want to thank the Department of Public Service for the work that they do in our community in terms of making sure that we have our bike lanes and so our roads are prepared for you to be able to ride safely to and from. I thank you for making sure that our environment, helping to save our environment. By riding your bicycles, you certainly are making sure that you care about our environment. And I also just say, thank you for being so healthy. We know that being healthy is key to us being able to have a long life. And so I thank you for riding your bikes to be able to continue to support our Commit to Be Fit in the city of Columbus. I want to thank Scott Ulrich. I want to thank Scott for his leadership in Columbus Public Health. Certainly, again, Catherine Gervais, and for all of you who are leaders in the movement of cycling and also health. And again, I just came by to say I'm a supporter. I appreciate what you do, and and I did have to give you a lot of credit for deciding to ride when the weather is not that great, that you still are out here riding and your commitment to cycling. I also want to recognize Grant Ames, who works in City Council. Where's Grant? Want to raise your hand? Grant rides his bike every single day to work at Columbus City Council, and I thank him for being such an avid cyclist, but also, again, protecting our environment and making sure that we do everything that we can to support the mayor and his administration by focusing on bike lanes and cycling. So again, have a blessed day, and thanks for being here.
There's no bad weather, right? Just bad wardrobe. We're good. So I am excited to invite to the stage Kyle Bivenauer with Lime Bikes, who's going to talk about the addition of more bike share here in the city of Columbus and throughout the region. Kyle.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. As Catherine mentioned, my name is Kyle Bivenauer, and I am the operations manager for Lime here in Columbus. As a resident and a Columbus native, I'm very proud and excited to be bringing Lime Bikes to Central Ohio. A little bit about Lime and what we do. We are the nation's leading dock-free smart mobility company. We're in more than 60 markets to date, and we're excited to add Columbus to that list. In total, we've completed more than 3 million rides in less than 10 months, and we're excited to build a regional smart mobility program right here in Columbus. Cities like Columbus are leading the way for sustainable, affordable transportation options. We've been working with the city for months to bring operations to Clintonville, Linden, and Near South here in Columbus. We've had a great partnership thus far, and we're looking forward to further building relationships with the city, the area commissions, and bike advocacy groups like Yay Bikes. Thank you very much.
A big thanks to all the folks who supported us being here, folks with the City of Columbus, and is it Lucky's who brought us bananas and Patty Cake Bakery and Cafe Brioso? Am I missing anyone, Scott? Thank those folks for bringing us food. We've heard a lot about infrastructure improvement and health improvement. You all clearly know how to ride roads. If you know people in your life who are part of that 60% of the population that we call bike curious, people who are interested in using their bikes for transportation but maybe nervous about riding on the roads, please send them to Yay Bikes. We've got great programming to help people get comfortable riding on roads. I've got some cards with me today. We do a monthly recreational looking ride. It's fun, but it also helps people learn to ride roads to places. We also do a straight up educational ride once a month for Yay Bikes members called How We Roll, where we will teach you to ride in any kind of environment you might encounter in Columbus. And then, of course, our signature ride bike, the C-Bus, is coming up Labor Day weekend. Registration is open for that. We've got lots of information. I'm happy to pass out cards to people who want more information on that. Thank you for coming. Happy Bike to Work Day. Yay, bikes! Yay,